Hello out there. Good morning. Today, Monday, April the 27th, 2026. Today is my birthday, America. So, if you want to make an old man happy, please give him a birthday present that is a subscription. Subscribe to the Heavy Montes YouTube channel right now. You understand? Now, America, we have a criminal president. Somebody told me that the assassination attempt was fake, and I believe it. Now in America, now I stayed at that hotel, and I'll tell you what happened to me. I was in Washington D.C. I was a soldier, and I went to D.C. to visit my sister. You know, and so she wasn't home, and I didn't really know where she lived. So I got there a day early, and I stayed in a cheap old ratty looking hotel across the street because they were just building the city up. You know, building the city. And with big hotels and shit at the time. And I'm laying in the bed, and a hooker walked into my room and said, "Hey, big boy, you looking for some action?" I said, "Yes, I am." I grabbed my stuff and I hauled ass across the street. And this is a 4 lane highway, kind of like, but at night, there's no traffic. I got across the street and couldn't get into the hotel. So I went to this, like, a bank teller that's behind her. She's inside, and she said, "Who the hell are you?" I said, basically, "Ma'am, I've been staying over at this hotel." Hooker walked in my room. I told the truth because it was late. I need a hotel. She said it was $95 at that time, I believe. I thought, "Damn, hell, here's your money," and they let me in. You see, the security is good. Now, getting to the security of that hotel, now they're saying this is why Heavy Monty has determined that Donald Trump is a low down, dirty dog and most likely faked this thing again. Okay. They said Donald Trump was never in danger. You say the ballroom where the event was being held was on a different floor. You see, they could have continued. Yeah, you understand. And also, you shoot all these damn bullets, nobody gets shot. You know, somebody tackle this guy. This man's going to walk up to a highly, highly secure, place, and say, "Look, I'm just trying to start shooting people." No, it's a fake again, in the opinion of Heavy Monte. When a president hates other presidents, hates the American free press. Now, the free press, they're not free. They're slaves, part of the maggot machine. Donald Trump, scared them, scared the shit out of Joe and Mika on MSNBC. Mika said, somebody said to us that we shouldn't go see Donald Trump, and we said, "Why not?" And I said, "Because your ass was afraid." You see, so the press is gonna tell us this is why this press is no good, America, and you need to subscribe to the Heavy Monte YouTube channel and all the other, you know, podcasters like me, progressive Democrats. You understand? We'll tell you the truth here. So anyway, America, the free press is going to have a big party. But see, everything Donald Trump touches die because he's a freaking jinx. You see? I know the people in the press will probably say, "Woo, we don't have to go in there tonight and kiss his golden ass." Because that's all they had to do. Because he'll tell them. Now he went on 60 Minutes. And Laura O'Donnell, she said to him, "Are you a pedophile?" Donald Trump said, "Oh, you nasty. You asked me something like that. I was just waiting for you to ask me something like that." A reasonable person would have said, "Hell no." And that's all I got to say about that. You understand? But Lord, she would have followed up and said, "Well, why aren't you releasing the records?" You see? So he had to make up some stuff and cuss her out because he hate women. You understand? You know what I'm saying? A man wouldn't do the things that they say he has done and said about women if he liked them. He don't like the women. You dirty low down dog. Now in America. So, and he also hates the American law, installed his own judges. Got his own judges in there, America. And then he loves all the dictators, and he continues to attack Americans. Matter of fact, he gunned down Americans in Minnesota, a man and a woman. They said they shot a woman in Chicago in her back 5 times, arrested an infant, deported a 3-year-old, they tell me. While Donald Trump maggot wife, Sweet Pea, Sweet Pea, we want to see Sweet Pea immigration papers. You see what I'm saying? I want to congratulate Donald Trump, who started a war, bombed a girls' school, killed a bunch of Americans, lost an irreplaceable strategic aircraft, put a nuclear aircraft carrier out of commission, spent billions, increased China and Russia global dominance. You understand? He strengthened Iran, destroyed 70 years of strategic European alliance, drove global energy costs to record highs, they tell me. He's increased inflation and threatened to end the civilization to all of the people in Iran. Kill them all, he said, if you don't open up the Strait of Hormuz, America. Iran should kiss my ass and they're making Lego videos of this no good lying taco. You see, a man who said, I love the poorly educated. See, you dumb motherfuckers voted for me. I don't need you no more. And if you think I'm going to send you a check farmer, you crazy. We're going to AI your shit. You see what I'm trying to tell you? They're going to split your land up, farmer. See, they're doing you the same way when they promised the black people 7 acres and a mule. Heavy ain't got his mule yet. I'm mad as hell. So he loved the poorly educated. And he said, he don't care about these people. He said, I just wanted your vote. You understand? And he said, smart people like the world's greatest podcaster, you want to subscribe now to the Heavy Monday YouTube channel? He said, smart people like me, he don't like us. You understand? Now, nothing in the world is more anti-American. My good friend from Lawton, Oklahoma, sent me something here and told me that. He said, again, there's nothing that's more anti-American than supporting Donald Trump and the Republican Party. So how can anyone out there trust the Republican Party, J.D. Vance, and the white evangelical church? The KKK, the Proud Boys, and anybody like that, when your ass is starving and about to lose democracy, your forest is burning up America, they want you to drink dirty water and all of this hell. And they want you to go to the maggot church. Now, before the low down, dirty dog maggots, they said to you, we will have no war in Iran or anywhere else. If you elect Kamala, or the Democrats, we're going to war. You understand? Big fat lie. He ran on releasing the Epstein files. Said Hillary Clinton was doing some things in a pizza parlor. You understand? You see what I'm saying? They said that they were going to release the Epstein files. Lied. Said they're going to lower gas prices. Lied. Said they were going to make America first. That's a big fat lie. Now we are the laughing stock of America, of the world, a banana republic. You understand? Being mocked by Iran. Now, they said all this before they were elected, but now there's a war. Gas prices are higher. I have a diesel truck. I'm paying 520 sometimes, 560, But I live in a city where I can walk everywhere. So in the summertime now, I'll walk, save money. You understand? Anyway, he said they were going to release those Epstein files. They're hidden. He said that America, wouldn't be, in this condition. They lied, America. Lied, lied. Now, they said our first lady, Sweet Pea, they said she could barely read aloud at a third grade level. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Then he has this lady, Linda McMahon, they tell me, this lady in charge of the Department of Education has no education experience except wanting to defund public schools. And when he took over the Department of Education, he said, I want it gone. We don't need no education. I got these maggots dumbed down like this. We need to make sure we keep this going. Then Donald Trump appointed a surgeon general that never finished her surgical residency training, they tell me, and has an inactive medical license. America, we got to get rid of these Republicans. You understand? And then he's talking about people with DEI. I just gave you that as an example. And now these white evangelical preachers, they might be lying on Franklin Graham. I hope so, because they said Franklin Graham said after 3 assassination attempts, some people say that the president is one lucky man. I don't think luck has anything to do with it, he said. He said, I believe it is the hand of God. See, they had all this stuff lined up for America. Had the preacher come out, lie. That man, dang going well, Donald Trump is a bullshitter, man. You remember on that first assassination attempt, they said he had a big ass, big ass pad on his damn head. All these ignorant maggots had pad on. These are two old white women said, I'm going to die for him. We're really going to vote. See, he think that this is going to turn his approval rating around. This is approval rating is minus something. This is not going to turn your approval rating around Donald Trump. The American people know who and what the Republican Party is because their actions now. The only thing that game, the Democrats, the Democrats are bad. The Democrats are bad. That doesn't work anymore. Now I'm gonna go back in history in closing to it, the words of President Harry S. Truman. And Harry S. Truman lived a long time ago, you understand. And this is what Harry S. Truman said about the Republican Party back then. Republicans approve of the American farmer, but they are willing to help him go broke. They stand solidly for the American home, but not for housing. They are strong for labor, but they are stronger for restricting labor rights. They favor minimum wage. The smaller the minimum wage, the better. They endorse educational opportunity for all, but they won't spend money for teachers or schools. They think modern medical care and hospitals are fine for people who can't afford them. You understand? They think the American standard of living is a fine thing, so long as it doesn't spread to all the people. And they admire the government of the United States so much that they would like to buy it America. And this has come to pass. See, Harry S. Truman said this a long time ago. So the Republican Party didn't start doing this yesterday. You see what I'm saying, huh? They say government should work for the people. The Republican Party should be in competition with the Democratic Party to make the lives of all Americans better. But they don't do that, huh? They tell the white man, the so-called white man, the black man is doing something to you, herding the black man into these big cities, segregating them, like they do in Saginaw, Michigan. Blacks on the west and whites on the east, whatever you call that. And America is segregated by color and by race because color and by race is the way they keep the poor poor. And Harry S. Truman said it. He told you this. Huh? He said they've been doing this to you. Huh? Paying you minimum wage for a long time, for hundreds of years. They've been doing this to you. Using the race card. Huh? You see, those same people who were slave masters then, back then, are slave masters now, using the same techniques. You see what I'm saying? Sending their sons to fight a war and telling their children in the South that it's your right to own a human being. These black people are nothing. They're dogs. Property. Huh? We can rape them and do what the hell we want to do with them. We're the vine. We are the people of God. But did they know they were satanic and the people of Satan back then? And they are the people of Satan now. And they have a low down dirty dog as president. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte Morning Show. I'm going to enjoy my birthday, but I'll be back later on. And remember, subscribe to the Heavy Monte's YouTube channel on his birthday. Have a great day. And never ever vote for a Republican again.